Black Sheep, Episode 9: The Power of Self-Worth, Becoming Magnetic. Queens, let me speak to your spirit for a moment. Have you ever wondered what it takes to become truly unforgettable? Not just liked, not just loved, but craved, desired in a way that your presence lingers, your energy is missed, and your absence is felt? It all comes down to one thing: self worth. Self worth is not just confidence, it's conviction. It's that deep rooted knowing that you are valuable, desirable, and deserving of respect, effort, and love. When you know your worth, you don't wait for anyone to validate you. You don't shrink to fit in. You don't beg to be chosen. You stand tall, you walk into every room like you belong, and you carry yourself with an energy that says, I am the prize. That kind of self assurance changes everything. It changes how people treat you, how you move, and what you attract. When you know your value, you don't chase, you attract. And more importantly, you attract better. See, when you don't recognize your worth, you'll accept crumbs. You'll accept late texts, broken promises, and love with conditions. You'll find yourself making excuses for someone who's not showing up for you, who's not loving you fully. But a woman who knows what she brings to the table doesn't waste time explaining her value. She lets her energy speak for her. She doesn't have to prove anything. She is the proof. And here's the secret: men can feel that. People can sense when you hold yourself to a higher standard. It makes them step up or step back, but either way, it draws a clear line. That line, that's your power. Knowing your worth means not settling for crumbs when you deserve the whole cake. It means understanding that love isn't about tolerating someone's potential. It's about aligning with someone's effort and character. You can't fix someone who doesn't want to be fixed. You can't convince someone to see your value if they're not even looking for substance. But when you know who you are, you stop auditioning for roles in other people's lives. You take up space unapologetically. You say no when something doesn't feel right. You don't second guess yourself just to keep someone comfortable. You also move differently when you know your worth. You dress for yourself. You speak with purpose. You don't compare yourself to the next woman because you're too focused on staying in your own lane. And in that lane, your presence becomes magnetic. It's not about looks, curves, or clothes. It's about the vibe, the I don't need you, but I'd love to share this with you kind of energy. That's what makes you unforgettable. That's what makes someone stay up wondering how you move so gracefully, how you smile without needing anyone's approval, how you can walk away without looking back if you're not being treated right. Let's be real. When a man sees a woman who respects herself deeply, who doesn't flinch at being alone because she enjoys her own company, she is powerful. She is unforgettable. Because most people are out here trying to be chosen, but a woman who knows her worth, she chooses herself first, every time, and that's what makes her addictive. There's something powerful about a woman who doesn't reveal her entire story on the first page. A Little Mystery isn't about playing games. It's about pacing, about letting someone earn access to the deeper parts of you instead of handing everything over without a second thought. In today's world, where oversharing is common and people post every detail online, mystery is rare. And that's exactly why it's so magnetic. When you don't rush to expose every thought, every feeling, and every plan, you create curiosity. And curiosity is the root of craving. A man can't crave what he already feels he has full access to. If he knows every move you'll make, every emotion you'll feel, every story you'll tell, where's the chase? Where's the opportunity for him to actually pursue you and uncover who you are in layers? Mystery keeps him engaged. It makes him lean in. It makes him think about you after you leave. It gives him space to wonder, to imagine, to want more. That's the difference between someone who passes through a man's life and someone who lingers in his mind long after she's gone. It's not about being cold or distant, it's about being intentional. You don't need to play hard to get. You just need to know that not everyone deserves full access to you right away. You can be kind, warm, and engaging without putting your whole soul on the table in the first 5 minutes. Let conversations unfold over time. Let your silence speak sometimes. Let him ask questions. Let him wonder about the things you don't say. That's how he learns to value your words because they're not handed out carelessly. Mystery also works in the way you carry yourself. It's in your smile that doesn't give everything away. It's in the way you dress with elegance and confidence, showing just enough to draw attention, but never so much that you've given it all away. It's in your energy, knowing when to lean in and when to pull back. It's in understanding that you are the experience, and every encounter with you should feel like a new chapter, not the whole book. The more you hold on to your power, the more a man will feel that he's discovering something rare. And the truth is, men love the feeling of discovery. They want to feel like they're earning access to something that isn't given to just anyone. When you keep a little to yourself, not out of fear, but out of self-respect, you remind him that you are not to be taken lightly. You're not an open door to be walked through at will. You're a locked room with golden light inside, and if he wants to get in, he has to come correct. And that's how you keep him coming back. There's nothing more attractive than a woman who's got things going on in her life. A woman with purpose, drive, and focus is a woman who doesn't wait around for someone to fill her time or give her direction. She wakes up with goals. She moves through her day with intention. She's not just waiting for a call or a text. She's too busy building her vision, handling her business, and becoming the woman she's destined to be. That kind of energy is undeniable. It sends a clear message to any man paying attention. You're not sitting around hoping to be chosen. You're already busy choosing yourself. When a man sees that you're not living in pause mode, that you're not putting your dreams or your passions on hold for a relationship, it changes how he sees you. He realizes you're not desperate, you're not dependent, you're not hoping he'll come along and give your life meaning. You already have meaning. You already have purpose. And when your schedule is filled with growth, creativity, self-care, and elevation, he knows he has to come correct just to fit into the life you're building. It's powerful. Too often, women lose themselves in the early stages of love. They shift their schedules, their energy, and even their identity just to be more available. But availability doesn't always equal value. If he can call you at any time and you drop everything to entertain him, you're teaching him that your world revolves around his. And once he feels like he's the center of your universe, the chase is over. The mystery is gone, and the craving fades too. But when you have things to do, purpose also builds confidence. It gives you something to wake up for, something to look forward to, something that's yours and only yours. And that confidence shows up in every interaction. When you talk about your passions, your goals, your grind, it adds layers to your personality. It creates substance. A man can find beauty anywhere, but when beauty is paired with ambition, with passion, with vision, that's a whole different level. That's when you start being a passing interest and start becoming unforgettable. Let him see you glowing from your own light. Let him see that you're not just living, you're evolving. When he calls and you're at the gym, taking a class, running your business, working on your craft, or simply spending intentional time with yourself, he learns that your time is valuable. And when he finally does get a piece of that time, it feels like a privilege, not a guarantee. That's how craving starts. Not by always being around, but by being missed. And you can't be missed if you're always available. So fill your life with purpose and let him chase the honor of being a part of it. There's a misconception that in order to keep a man's attention, you have to chase him, to always be present and available, to constantly work hard to show him your worth. But let me tell you something. Chasing doesn't create attraction. It creates exhaustion. When you're constantly chasing, you send the message that you're not secure in your position, that you're dependent on his validation, that you need him to feel whole. But a woman who understands her worth doesn't chase, she attracts. She doesn't need to run after someone to prove that she's worthy of their love. Instead, she focuses on becoming the best version of herself and allows the man to recognize that value for himself. What's truly magnetic is not your neediness, but your calm. When you can be the source of peace in someone's chaotic life, when you can offer him a sense of stability and grounding, you become an anchor, not a weight. The pressure of a relationship should never feel like a burden. It should feel like a partnership, a place where both individuals can breathe easy, grow together, and support one another. If your presence in his life only adds to his stress, he'll naturally pull away. But when you can be his peace, when he feels lighter, calmer, and more centered with you by his side, that's when he'll start craving your presence. A man will always crave peace over drama. He will seek comfort over chaos. Confidence is the foundation of everything. Without it, you're merely going through the motions, hoping that others will see your worth. But when you walk into a room with your head held high, shoulders back, and a calm assurance in your every step, you become undeniable. Confidence doesn't mean being perfect or never having doubts. It's not about having the loudest voice or the most attention. It's about owning who you are, flaws, strengths, quirks, and all. It's about knowing that you are enough just as you are. That kind of self-assurance is magnetic. It makes a person stand out in the crowd without saying a word, because they carry an energy that says, I know my worth, and I don't need anyone else to define it for me. When you're confident, you don't need validation from anyone. You don't need constant reassurance or affirmation to feel secure in yourself. A confident woman isn't afraid to be alone because she knows that solitude is an opportunity for growth and self-love, not a sign of failure. She understands that her worth isn't dependent on the approval of others, especially not from a man. And when a man sees that level of self-assurance, he can't help but be drawn to it. It's a silent yet powerful message that says, if you want me, you better come correct, because I'm already good on my own. So, queens, let this be your reminder. You are the prize. You are the standard. You are the experience. You are the peace. You are the mystery. You are the light. You don't need to chase. You don't need to beg. You don't need to shrink. You just need to know who you are, own it, and let the world adjust. When you know your worth, you move differently, and the world moves with you. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Black Sheep. Until next time, walk boldly, love deeply, and let your light lead the way.